Hey everybody, thanks for checking in with Mahoning Matters. My name's Chris. I'm the editor of Mahoning Matters. I got Mike Brown. We do a sports show together. We're going to tape a sports show in a little bit. And I got a friend of mine, John Reed, and we're just going to talk a little clips for a little bit. We are taping this right after 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the time the eclipse is going by. A little up front, I'm actually working remotely in Columbus. I'm with family today. And Mike is with family in Florida. So both of us are out of the area. John is in the Beaver Falls area, just across the border near Youngstown. So just wanted to talk. We've got some feels out to some other people in the valley. I'll tell you the truth. It's hard right now because a lot of people are out in the valley checking out the eclipse. You can see the sky in the Columbus kind of behind me. John has the sky behind him in Beaver Falls. So how you guys doing first before we start talking?
I'm doing great. This is, it's brilliant blue skies. And like I was said off the air, Chris, some puffy white clouds, a few contrails down here in Florida. So I'm not so sure what we're going to get here in the southern part of the United States.
Yeah, and here in Columbus, it's a little bit out of totality. I know a little bit north. My wife was driving for the Westerville area, which is a little bit north of us. She said there was big crowds. They said kind of like Westerville, Delaware, going north. You could see it a little bit more. Us, I could see. I don't have my glasses, so I'm not going to look right up in the sky. I don't want to damage my eyes today. But I could see the sun. John here has his glasses with him. The skies look a little, if I could show you a little bit of the sky, it looks a little darker than you would imagine for 3 p.m. on a day, but it doesn't look scary or anything like that. Maybe we should ask our guy in the valley area. John, what are you seeing up there?
I'm seeing kind of like a partly cloudy day.
Okay.
And I look up, I can see the sun. It looks almost like a sliver of a crescent moon.
Okay.
The majority of the sun is currently covered by the moon. That being said, there are a lot of cloud coverage, as you can see in the background behind me.
Yeah.
So it's more like when you have a break in between the clouds, you can see something, but it is shining through. By the way, side note, do wear these glasses. I actually tested them doing a professional video here not too long ago with a friend of ours who does, that type of thing for social media. He had those intense lights, when you're actually taking a video for social media. You couldn't see a thing through these lights staring directly at a very, very bright light. The sun has to be so much brighter. Do what it takes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm looking through my Twitter just seeing if there's any updates going on. I know we have Samantha. She's a friend of ours. She's a marketing person for the Trumbull County Tourism. She's up at Indian Lake right now, and she's telling me, man, there's a lot of people. So she sent me some pictures of people enjoying themselves, having fun. She can't get internet access. So I think sometimes when you get a lot of people in a certain area, you just don't have that access there. I can tell you right now, it is getting, and I'm not looking. Excuse me, I'm not looking up. It is gotten a little bit darker here in the past minute or two. I can kind of feel like a little bit of a darkness. It would be very unusual for 3 p.m., but nothing too bad. I can tell. I see a lot of messages about traffic. I'll be honest with you guys, like John said, don't look right up in the sun. That's my first tip. Secondly, be prepared for traffic. And I know here in Ohio, there's a lot of concern there. Governor Mike DeWine had emergency forces on alert. And it's nothing, we're not going to have anything super scary or apocalyptic today, I don't think at least. But I think there's a lot of concern about, hey, are people going to be smart in traffic? If you're out driving during the eclipse, don't pull over or stop in the middle of the road, no matter how cool it looks up there. Just be careful. And I think that's one of the big things people are worried about up here, just to make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah.
We have.
They said what time the peak time is going to be in northeastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania?
Youngstown, the magic time is going to be about 3:15. So right now it's like 3:08. we're going to try to be on the 325 just so we can kind of be past that time and check out and see what's going on. But it is, like I said, over my shoulder, kind of like up here is the sun. Again, not looking straight up at it. I sense it's getting a little darker, which is kind of cool to check out.
I was really shocked. I thought this was going to be a quicker affair than it has been. Surprisingly, I started seeing signs of this even as far as a half hour ago. I could see it, over the sun as I looked through the glasses, and I thought it'd be a much quicker event. So it's actually lingering if anyone's interested in seeing the effects on the downside of this too.
Yeah, and we already have pictures. We'll post pictures on our site, and we'll share some other pictures we see that we can. Just kind of interesting. My wife has her glasses. She's kind of looking up as we see. But, yeah, you can see it's definitely gotten a little bit darker here. I'm anxious to see what's going to look like in the Warren area. I mean, the Warren area is its totality. So will it be darker there or not? It would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
A couple notes I saw. Interesting, the Yankees actually moved their game in New York back a couple hours. I know the Guardians, their home season starts today. Their game is starting at 5. I think traditionally their home opener is at 4. So I don't know. Mike's our sports writer here. Mike, I wonder what effect that would have. I guess obviously if you're playing baseball, you got your sunglasses on, but you still don't want to look at the sun if you're playing in the middle of the eclipse, right?
Right. I noticed, I think I was looking on Twitter a little bit ago, a few of the sports writers who are covering that game are sitting in the stadium already with the special glasses and stuff, watching the eclipse before the pregame, the Guardians home opener.
Yeah. Well, I got it for a second. It has gotten darker. Again, where I'm at here in the Columbus area is going to be out of the totality, but it has gotten noticeably darker here. I don't know if you could see it.
A little bit.
On the screen. Yeah. Very different. I don't know. I got to say it was interesting. We have a lot of local coverage. Check out our newsletter today. If you haven't subscribed, why not? Please subscribe to our newsletter. It's free. But if you haven't subscribed, right now, our number one story is the information that you see on the newsletter. So there's a lot of coverage about the eclipse locally and nationally. A couple of things I wanted to bring up while we're waiting to see how dark it gets here. John's a pastor. Mike, I know you're a man of faith. It was interesting. A lot of conspiracy theories out there. Some people were actually thinking that this could foretell the second coming of Christ. We had a story there, kind of interesting. I don't know. I think no man knows the day or hour probably is the best response to that.
Absolutely. Yep.
I don't know, John, have you heard anything strange about that coming up?
Oh, I've heard a ton of strange stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't believe any of it. Chris, you just mentioned Matthew 24 and Mark 13 right there that Jesus had said. I think people like to grab onto the fascinating, and run with it. But what I really wish they would do is just be kind to their neighbors and tell people about Christ and just try to love the world and make the world a better place. Yep. If you put that energy into the circle of people around you, this world would be a whole lot better than it currently is. So I'd focus that attention on that instead of worrying about all the stuff that you've got no control over.
Yes, I would agree. Man, as you can see, I'm even...
You know what it looks like to me down here in Florida? I'm looking at your picture there. Chris, it almost looks like a thunderstorm behind you right now, but it's just darkness setting in.
Yeah, I was noticing even in John's explanation, it was progressively getting darker behind me. Yeah. So, again, very nervous to look up, so I'm going to keep looking at the screen. But, behind me, it's very dark right now, which is kind of cool. It's been neat to see. So a lot of stories out like that, which kind of makes it interesting. Again, be careful out there. I know not everybody cares about the eclipse. That's fine. I mean, but if you're out there driving, please be careful while you're driving. That's a big concern I know people have right now. And my goodness, guys.
Yeah.
I'm looking straight out in front of me, and it has gotten way dark.
Oh, yes, Chris, cool. I can tell.
Yeah, it's kind of dramatic seeing how dark it's been getting out here. So again, traffic's a big concern. I think the other concern is they were talking about, hey, if you run out of gas, I mean, if everybody's out there getting gas at the same time, gas stations may have some trouble with supply. So again, nothing to be super worried about. But again, it has gotten way dark out here in the past little bit. So exciting to see. Kind of fun to be out here during this time.
Yeah.
So, John, I'm noticing you're probably a little bit more in the path than I am. I know, you're 2.5 hours by car east of me right now. It's weird. I'm not seeing the dramatic that I'm seeing behind me at yours yet. Has it gotten to your place yet?
I'm not just east, of course. I'm a bit north too.
Yeah.
Part of the equation. I'm probably about 2 hours south, roughly, of what is the primary zone. If you're talking about, Cleveland, East Lake. I know where you used to live at one point, Chris. Erie, Pennsylvania, Buffalo. I'm a bit further south from that, probably about a couple of hours. Across Youngstown, PA line. I'm a little bit south of Beaver Falls, and it is getting weird here. You wouldn't be able to tell, but it almost looks like a foggy effect.
Yeah.
But it's just untimely darker than normal. This is what I would expect to see, around 7:30, in the evening currently.
Yeah.
And now but you can still see the sun is shining through, but just, not as much shadow as there would be normally Sorry,
Chris,
Mike, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's all right, John. Chris, it looks like the background of it's getting lighter now in your background.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, and they said, depending on the time, especially in Trumbull County, you're going to see it being dark for probably up to 4 minutes at the max.
Yeah.
I know in Youngstown, maybe a minute or two. Kind of surprised. You're right. This is getting lighter behind me.
Yes.
But man, it looked like it was dark for at least 2 or 3 minutes.
It certainly did. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see that here in the Columbus area. I was a little bummed out that I was here instead of Youngstown, thinking it was going to be light. But this was kind of neat to see this. We'll definitely post a video from this podcast because obviously people aren't going to know what we're talking about if you don't see the light behind me. But yeah, it's gotten progressively lighter. I see right in front of me, it's still dark, looking like that thunderstorm. But I definitely see behind me, it's a lot lighter right now.
Yes, very much so.
So, yeah, I'm seeing a little, with the haze that we got from the Canadian wildfires, John, I'll be honest with you, what you're seeing right now, I can't tell if it's eclipse or haze. I mean, from the wildfires,
Yeah, it's kind of this weird mix. I'll show you what I'm looking at as I go into some, tree area and stuff like that. It's odd. It's odd. You felt that minutes ago, I'm sure, as it turned dark, but now you're going light. It's the tiniest of slits right now. There's not much left.
Yeah, very interesting.
And guys, it's still the same here in Florida. It's brilliant blue skies.
Yeah. Not expected to be in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Let me look. I wanted to stay on for about 10 more minutes just to see if, like I said, we had some people supposed to call in, and people were like, "We're not sure what the internet's going to be like here." So, if it's the three of us, that's fine. We had a story earlier. Interesting. The National Weather Service was trying to predict the cloud cover, because again, cloud cover was a big thing with this. 56% was forecasted for the Mahoning Valley. Interesting to see how much that affected it. I'll tell you, we had a little bit of cloud cover, but you definitely felt it come through here pretty dramatically. So I guess they were saying it depends on where the cloud cover is. Is it low-hanging clouds or high-hanging clouds? How cloudy is it where you're at, John?
It's fairly cloudy. It's definitely partly cloudy. As I look in the other direction, what is been going through, it's tough to discern what is actually blue sky trying to get through thin layers of cloud and what is actually a little bit darker. It's just got that effect right now where I can't quite tell if it's supposed to be blue sky up there or not. So it's just kind of like this thinnish layer with occasional thicker ones. It's far from rain clouds.
Okay.
It's just a nice sunny day. And actually, as I say that, I noticed the sun actually peeking out again on my forearm. So I'm going to take another peek at what it looks like.
Okay.
It's so weird because from my angle here, it looks like almost like that little sliver just is rotating counterclockwise. Well, for me on the screen, be counterclockwise around the sun. That's probably part of not being in that main zone sweeping across, the country.
Yeah, very interesting. Let me just go over some of the stories before we close here. Yeah, I mean, we had a story on, and obviously the eclipse is happening now, about the timing, the path. It started out here in Ohio in the Dayton area. It's kind of coming up for Columbus. I know Mansfield was supposed to get a huge view of the eclipse. And, Akron, Cleveland, again, the Guardians game got pushed back a little bit today. Headed through Warren, Youngstown, I think it's almost by Niagara Falls. I know Niagara Falls was supposed to get a good view of it. So I'm thinking that path up there, you look at the old PA Turnpike, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just supposed to see it next. Couple other stories I'm just kind of looking at. Again, a big thought today. We had a story before the eclipse. They're saying up to 15,000 more people could be in Trumbull. I know Indian Lake, which is a little bit outside Trumbull, was getting a lot of people. Interested to see. Hopefully, they can handle it. I know safety forces are on high alert. Again, there's not as much of a fear of something happening. It's more of traffic. I mean, if you get a couple of traffic accidents, traffic's pushed back and everything. Probably not a good time to be out unless you have to be right now up here. So just just hoping for the best. I'm hoping this afternoon we have a slow news day where everyone gets home safe and they enjoy their time and everything else. Um, yeah, a lot of preview of the eclipse. Obviously, the eclipse is happening now. We have a fun story about how to make devices if you don't have those glasses at home, how to do it yourself. A little bit of advice there. Obviously, eye safety. Do not look up at the eclipse directly. John, you can see he's looking at, but he's doing it with the proper protection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of other good stuff. Guys, I'm checking Twitter. If you're hearing anything else from our friends in Youngstown, I got a look. I'm still seeing a couple good pictures coming up from Trumbull County. Tyler Berry, he's a known storm chaser up in the Mahoning Valley. He's posted a really cool picture of the moon on his Twitter site.
I know Tyler.
Yeah, very, very good. I'm seeing from Austin Maltic, one of our partners in sports. He's up at the Guardians game, and I'm seeing a picture. It looks like it's 9 p.m., but it's a picture he took a couple minutes ago.
Interesting.
So you can tell it's in Cleveland right now as well. Let me see, guys, if I'm seeing anything else here. Yeah, one of those fun things. Again, I understand there's some people out there that says, "Oh, you guys write too much about the eclipse." It happens once every 7 years. It's something that a lot of people are interested in, and I'm enjoying seeing all the pictures here. It's really neat. So, I I don't know, Mike. Have you read any tips about how to take pictures of the eclipse? I'm seeing some pictures here. I'm not sure if I would trust my iPhone to take good pictures or not.
Yeah, I know my son. My son actually traveled around Nashville, Tennessee for the last eclipse because
Okay.
that was supposed to be a peak area down there, and he worked for Life Touch Photography at that time, and he had to use a special lens for things like that. So I don't know, like if a person's using a phone camera, I'm not sure how that would work out, but he had a professional camera, had to have special lenses and everything for the last eclipse.
Wow. Wow. Very, very cool. All right. John, are you seeing anything else down there?
No, and I happen to be in a very secluded place, which is wonderful because I don't have to put up with the crowds. Um, what I have really enjoyed in this process is as I've looked up through these, glasses, which are, I think I read online something like 1,000 times more intense than regular sunglasses. But as I've seen it, I've just thoroughly enjoyed watching the rim of the sliver just kind of go around. It's yeah, it's just really cool. It's neat, and there's not much sun. If you think about it from my perspective here, this whole time we've been able to see each other, but most of the sun's been completely covered.
Yeah.
To me, that's wild.
Yeah, wow.
Power of the sun, that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Kind of interesting. I got a text from Michael Stepp, the marketing guy at the Youngstown Library. He's showing me that the YSU sign downtown, he said it's getting so dark up there that the YSU lights come on. They typically come on at night. So he thought that was kind of an interesting show.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we'll have that in our website. Yeah, so very interesting. Well, I think we survived, which is good. There was some jokes going around about, we had the story about, hey, how bad is it supposed to get? And, some people were thinking it's going to get apocalyptic. I don't sense that right now. It's just, be careful on the roads. Don't be the reason why this gets bad. Seeing some other pictures, downtown Youngstown looks pretty dark right now. Actually, John, at the moment, I'm seeing a picture of families downtown. It looks kind of like where you're at, a little darker.
Mm-hmm.
But, it was a little darker at this a few minutes ago for me before it got really dark.
Yeah.
Does the eclipse follow? I mean, it kind of travels, right? I mean, it's not like it's happening everywhere at the same time. So maybe Youngstown's going to start seeing what we saw over here about 10 minutes ago. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So, all right. Well, hey, we are about at time. So thanks for checking out Mahoning Matters. Again, check out our newsletter. Free newsletter each time. Our website's free. Other websites you have to pay for, but we are a nonprofit. So if you can help us out, make a nonprofit donation. We love the staff we have right now. I'm the editor. Kelsey Norris is a reporter of ours. We got freelancers like Mike, and I got friends like John that pop in every once in a while. So we're proud of the staff, I guess, when I include people like John that we have right now. But we're always looking to expand what we do. And, if you can make a nonprofit contribution, that helps us be able to expand what we do. I've worked for places in the past where they say, hey, help us out or we may go out of business. Well, we're not doing that. We're saying help us grow what we do. So if you can help us out, there's plenty of places to help online. And if you can't, keep reading us. Read us and share the stories you like with your friends. All right. Well, again, we got more podcasts coming up. Mike and I are going to record another one about sports here in a few minutes. But for Mike and John, this is Chris. Thanks for checking us out. Have a great day, everybody.